for a capital case, and they was in the newspaper applauding the judges for going through so many cases so fast. So you know, and by me not having any money, I couldn't have the proper representation.
What was your charges?
I was charged with a first-degree murder. I was with a co-defendant. My girlfriend and I were charged in a French Quarter murder. Okay, my name Kenneth McGee. I'm from Tylertown, Mississippi. I was raised in Tylertown, Mississippi. I was born in New Orleans by my mother. And my mother and my dad couldn't get along, so they divorced and left me with grandparents in Tylertown. So at that point, I started playing football. I started running track, playing football, and my grandmother passed away, leaving me with my father in New Orleans. There I started going to Joseph Corn Junior High School, and I excelled in football, giving me a scholarship go to St. Augustine. But they asked me how I was raised. I had a good upbringing. I had good religious standardized people that raised me pretty good.
So you was raised by your grandparents?
The grandparents, yeah, okay. In Tylertown, Mississippi.
How come you wasn't raised by your mother and your father?
My mother and father couldn't get along. They just couldn't get along, so they stayed in New Orleans. They sent me and my brother, I had brother John, and they sent us to Tylertown, Mississippi to be raised,
Okay.
So that's how that went.
So you was born in New Orleans?
Oh yeah, I was born in Charity Hospital with my mother and father, and they couldn't get along, so they sent me and my brother to my grandmother in Tylertown, Mississippi.
Okay. How old are you right now?
I'm 62 right now.
Oh, okay. So overall, how was your childhood?
I had a good childhood. I never went without clothing. We wasn't rich, but I never went without food. Up there, our people raised their own foods and commodities. So. Yeah, so I had a lot of cousins and uncles and stuff that was real supportive. Back in those times, families were families. So you was raised by everybody in the family. After coming to New Orleans, I stayed with my father and I played football and had a scholarship to go to St. Augustine, and that's where I really start recognizing my life. I had mentors, Coach Walsh and Miss Andrew Davis were school teachers and stuff, so it gave me something to look forward to instead of staying around in the neighborhood doing drugs. I really was never criminal minded. I didn't have to. I didn't know anything. I had my mind set on, sports. I was a sports fanatic at that time, and I was pretty good.
All right. What's your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory is probably my dad winning a lawsuit one year, and he bought me a little motorcycle. Oh man, he bought my brother a horse, brought me a motorcycle. Man, that was I could have had a car. He wanted to give me a car. My mind was set on a motorbike.
Man, how old you was?
I was
about a motorcycle.
About 11 years old when I
11?
got 1973. Yeah, my dad won a lawsuit. 11 years old.
And you rode a motorcycle at 11?
Yeah, it was a little 90 Kawasaki. We was in the country, so it was.
Right.
We was still in Mississippi, so it wasn't nothing. My brother he wanted horses, but my dad bought him horses. So yeah, that's probably my most memorable childhood time. Yeah, that was.
How many brothers and sisters you got?
I have my one brother. Yeah. Now, my dad had other siblings outside of my mother, but my mother, just my brother and I, so.
Okay.
Yeah. And
you have any kids?
Who that, me? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I got 3 kids. Ooh, this is a long one here. I got 2 daughters and a son. My son is presently in Texas. They from 3 different women. Okay,
okay.
well, we were kids then. You know, our childhood kids that think they're in love, and in fact, we got these little girls pregnant, and I went off to jail. But my kids are, I got a son, Kenneth, that's the oldest. He and I spoke to him last night. He cool people, you know. I got a daughter, Kentrell, by another lady, Angela. She never did allow me to have established relationship with her, and after she got reached maturity, I still was trying to reach out, but at that point, I guess she just didn't want to have a relationship. And even after getting out here, I haven't spoken to her.
How come?
Well, okay, there's not my other daughter, the youngest one, which with my fall partner, a co-defendant of mine. Everything was relayed to her, and she kind of strange. I'll get on her a little later. She was kind of the mediator, you know, transfer information. I would send messages through her and see if she was ready to talk, and we can just get to know me. Wasn't trying to interrupt their lives, you know, but she never went on, so I had to give her her space, you know. So up until yet, you know, I'm a meter, you know. Her mother and stepfather, they got a church, you know. I wanted to go there, but my daughter suggested not. The youngest one, Dad, don't go. Them people don't want, you know. So I took her advice. Now this daughter, the youngest one, with my fall partner, she and we just don't get along. I don't know what it is. We must be too much alike or something, you know. So we, you know, she don't call or anything. If anything, I have to call her, you know. And she just, I was just, you know, coming out here to try to be of assistance to them,
right?
You know, and so we really don't talk.
Okay.
You know, and
you ever been married?
No, I haven't been married.
Oh, okay.
No.
You never been married?
No, all my marriage time was wasted in the midst of the incarceration, you know. So,
do you desire to be married?
Oh yes, I'm still trying to get married. That's really what forces me not to approach women. I don't have a job, man. You know, and I'm not getting with a woman. I'm self-supported. I don't care what another person. I take care of me. Completely, you know. But I want, you know, when you get in a relationship, it's one of the first things where you work at.
Right.
You know, I'm stuck. I mean, I'm not really stuck, but you know, then they start thinking you got to bring it through, and you know, I'm just waiting for the time. God gonna send me a nice lady that gonna fit me. You know.
Right. So how's your relationship with your kids now?
Oh, my son and I, we good. You know, we speak. We talk about all kinds of stuff last night, you know. But my relationship with them, I mean, they my daughters and stuff, you know. I'm always loving them. My daughter, when they call, like ain't nothing never happened, you know. I have to be the mature party in areas, you know. So, I mean, no matter what transpires, I'm always be there for them, and I'm always try to support whatever their goals are, you know. So, I'm in a situation like that. I try to live a spiritual type life. Now I try to turn all negativity into something positive, you know. So, and it's therapeutic for me, you know, because you go around angry and harboring hard feelings, man, you get sick and ill and everything. So, rather than doing that, I try to reverse it. In all situations, I try to diffuse. Even if I'm right, I try to diffuse the situation. And if parties are reasonable thinkers, later, you know, usually they'll come back and say, man, you know what? I see that from your angle, you know. Or I come back and say, man, you know what? I didn't see that from your angle. Now I see it from a different way, a point now, you know. So, you know, it helps everybody in those situations, you know.
Okay, let's talk about your case. Can we talk about your case?
Oh no, we can't. That's a. Well, I mean, a little brief thing. That's part of. Okay, as far as I could let you know that an agreement was made for my release from prison.
Okay.
You know. I've done 42 years, consecutive years. And the system is so corrupted that caused my longevity there, because a bill came out with Bill Clinton 930.8 barring people from court. If you don't have your argument in court after 2 years, you can't get it in. You know, in regards to what facts you may have, and I was in a situation like that, so all the facts and evidence that I had to back my arguments up wasn't even heard up until this Loyola University professor done an interview. I asked that like this, and I explained my situation, that I was heard. So it gave me an exposure, and an attorney out of Georgia asked to represent me, and they seen all this. Man, you didn't need, man, they just, railroaded you so fast. I didn't have I went through the system in 7 months, for a capital case. And they was in the newspaper applauding the judges for going through so many cases so fast. So and by me not having any money, I couldn't have the proper representation.
Right. What was your charges?
I was charged with a first-degree murder. I was with a co-defendant. My girlfriend and I were charged in a French Quarter murder.
Okay.
That didn't. I mean, none of this stuff matched up to what Like I say, by me going through the system so fast, I didn't even have time to. My dad ain't had no money to get me no lawyer. The lawyer that I had came one time, and he didn't prepare a defense, so I would whiff through that right quick, and by me in a situation, I was pretty much situated where I was forced to take the charge in a way. They were going to, my co-defendant, they were going to give her a life sentence too, and it didn't really make sense for both of us going to prison with life.
So it was you and somebody else?
Yeah, girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend.
Yeah, Simone Williams, that was my ball partner of mine.
How y'all got caught up like that?
Well, right at the scene, after the incident, this is what happened. When we leaving the scene out the French Quarter, police was Mona was driving, so she turned the corner, police company. She said, hey, look, y'all better slow down. And we went on, they went on, and then they got a call saying, damn, they heard a gunshot in the area, and they remembered the call that they had just confronted. We were right on Canal, that pulled us over right there.
On Canal?
Yeah.
Canal.
They didn't even really leave the crime scene. The crime, I think that was Saint. I don't even know. I never even bothered to find out what street they were on. No. We never even bothered to discuss it when she came visit me, brother. It was so disgusting that, it was something I was just trying to bury completely,
Right.
She went on and killed herself in a car accident. Oh. She really couldn't handle the.
So it's purposely. She did it on purpose?
Yeah. No, there ain't no too many people. Well, nobody really know that. She came visit me the weekend, and I, she didn't say anything like that, but I seen she had no life left in her, brother. The case that drained. I think she started using drugs and doing other things out here, just trying to bury those the events,
That's right.
And in doing so, I had to get custody of my daughter, so I went through all the legalities to have custody of my youngest daughter, the one I told you we don't even talk. My mom, she raised her, Mm-hmm. So and I done what I could from the prison, inside the prison walls, and.
Damn, your co-defendant, what's her name?
Simone Williams.
All right.
Yep.
You still keep in touch with her family, or? I
talked to her brother, being 42 years gone. I finally called her brother. He's staying in Texas now. He liked to talk. He was a little boy when I left. He poof, He about 46, 47 years old now. All right. He like racing cars. I see him on the Facebook all the time. He like drag racing and stuff, Mm-hmm. But I only called to let him know I was out and introduce myself and let him know I remember him, So he be wanting me to call, but I'm trying to do so many things to get my feet under me. It's hard to, right. Focus on one particular area.
So y'all got accused of killing a white woman?
Yeah.
In New Orleans, in the French Quarter?
In the French Quarter.
During those times?
And say, bro, I'm probably the only percentage of person probably walk from under that. And they had me so bad, they had to pretty much let me go. And I'm gonna let you know, as far as case concerned, there was one word in my transcript that established my freedom. Assume.
Assume.
That one word got me convicted, bro. And one word got me released from prison. Pretty much, when they asked they had a lady that got shot. The lady that got shot. Mm-hmm. They had she was supposed to walk in with another lady. When they asked her, she was a key witness on the stand. Said, did they ask you for anything? Said, no. You had a person. Yeah, I threw it down and I took off running. And they said, well, what you thought was going on? I assumed that it was an armed robbery. No what? Nobody said stick up. Nobody ask you drink. Yeah, and say, bro, that key word right there was a man. I'll never forget the definition of
Soon.
assume. You know.
So that set the stage for letting you go.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Because you had took for granted. They say so you don't know what happened.
So what facility you was at?
I was at Louisiana State Penitentiary. I done the straight 42 consecutive years that I wasn't never go. I had never had another court order or anything.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like I said, they
That's
wouldn't.
Angola?
Yeah, that's Angola.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's
It's a real deal.
big. That's a big house. And when I went there, it was in turmoil.
Right.
I mean, feds had it and everything. And I mean, it just turmoil, but you just had to be a man.
So you done seen some stuff. You done seen some stuff in there.
Ooh, man, I done seen suicides, I done seen killings, I done seen rapes, I done seen everything.
Damn, what's your worst jail story?
Worst jail story? Man, I can't.
Got a lot.
Yeah, I got bad. I got friends that I do committed suicide, and I was right there, and man, it's just a whole lot. I've been in cells 23 hours a day, playing with little mice, little spiders. I remember one time they had a dude, Trembling Black, and the guy came from an out camp. They used to transfer him at night. They bump up. They got some altercations that Camp C, and they sent both of them down to walk in the on the main prison at the same time. And they would go to work, come out the field, getting ready to go to child time at 12 o'clock. They walk in the child, we walk around. Dude come right side of the building that's killed the dude right about 3 people in front of me, and the way it was then, that wasn't no real big thing because it was happening so regular, we see it and keep walking, so a lot of things that you do in prison, you have to kind of stay in line with it, so you didn't talk. That's the biggest thing. I wasn't being all right, making friends,
Right.
I wasn't gambling, I wasn't messing with homosexuals. So those are things that get you jammed up in awkward ways, so.
Right. You got to be very selective.
Yeah, you got to be real.
Who you talk to, deal with, hang with.
And I mean, after I was there a while, I was able to mingle with a variety of people because I established my reputation. So some of the things that newcomers, what they call fresh fish, have to deal with, I didn't have to deal with anymore. I was kind of more or less a mentor, giving them ways to make things more better for them in the prison, So, like I say, I've always been pretty positive thinking. So almost every situation, I'm gonna give a person the benefit of the doubt. Or I harbor no hard feelings on anyone.
You took any programs in there, any kind of?
Oh yeah, I'm certified as a carpenter, but I got that later on. They wouldn't allow lifers to get vocational trades back then because they said, well, you got a life, you ain't gonna need it. You ain't going out there where you need no certificate for a trade. I was a CPR instructor, teaching dudes how to do CPR and teaching dudes how to teach dudes to do CPR. I've cooked. I could cook. I cooked in the main prison for years.
Yeah.
I've done all kind of hobby crafts. I've done woodworking, clocks and rocking chairs. I do leather work, belts and purses, and I could sew. I could sew good.
Oh, okay.
I sewed at the mattress factory, and then later on a year, garment factory, which I had to get out of there because they were trying to work me to death. That's how I went on to carpentry. Once they started allowing us to get that trade, Let
me ask you this: do you think jail rehabilitate?
Restate that question.
Do you think jail rehabilitates some people? Do you think
rehabilitation comes from within?
Okay.
If you want to be rehabilitated, you can. That's what I tell some people that's drug abusers out here. I said, man, if you want to quit, you just got to bite the bullet and quit. Don't use anything to do it. Just quit. So I say that to say that a person have to rehabilitate themselves. There are opportunities and things you could do to assist it, but if you really want to change, it's gonna have to come from within yourself. Just like a junkie, you just got to quit.
Right.
So they have rehabilitated programs, that give you an opportunity, but it's not all professionally controlled. They got inmates that the master the art. They allow them to be mentors. Which is good. I think you get a better teaching from someone that has gone through it rather than someone that's reading books. You got psychologists and this and that coming up there. They just bookworm. They haven't actually been drug abusers and this and that. So.
Okay. What now? New Orleans for a long time now has been known to have a high crime rate, to be the murder capital of the world, on and off different years since the 90s. In your opinion, what do you think is the cause of that? And it's mainly African Americans.
The system is structured for us not to fail, but not to have equal opportunities, and being in environments or communities that have little standardized standards. A kid gonna grow up doing what he see other kids do. So, and the politicians and stuff, they keeping things under control where it's best for their neighborhoods and everything. Only until their people get in trouble with different things that they, tend to address it. So,
Do you think part of it is bad parenting?
no, that's part of it. But how can that's a good issue you brought. I told people, I said, man, how can you accuse this mother for being a bad mother when you won't allow her to be a mother and discipline her kid? Now, when the kids start acting out, as this woman got arrested just recently, you say she a bad mother, you know? But if you let me, when I was raised up, your mama could whip my ass just like my mama could whip you, and when it was like that, you had better disciplined kids,
Right.
I said, so,
Now you can't even touch the
yeah, they go on to child services, you're gonna get a charge.
Right.
But then when they go kill somebody, the DAs and stuff, oh, you ain't you ain't raising your kid right.
Right.
They were putting that belt on us and all this and that. We establish a little discipline in the house early on. You can't catch a kid after you 9 and 10 years old. Things will sit in its early teen.
Right.
You got to catch a child from early and instill these things in them. So that's automatically you're gonna know that's not good. Some things I never really was involved in, but I knew it wasn't good just from my upbringing. So.
Right. Do you think the music these days, the rap music,
yeah, it's very
big
misleading.
part?
Yeah. I've witnessed dudes in jail that listen to that hard rap and stuff. They get radical.
Yeah. Well, back in our days, we called it gangster rap,
Yeah.
but these days they call it drill rapping, but it's all the same thing, different name.
Yeah.
Trap rap.
Yeah, they're trapping. Yeah.
Trap rap.
Yeah.
Gangster rap, drill rap,
Yeah.
it's all the same.
Yeah. So,
just a different name.
Yeah.
So do you think that plays a big part
A very big part. Yeah.
into
Yeah, they
why we
start
still
drinking and
see
these
so much
drugs, the hallucinative type drugs they use, and you don't know what's in it.
Right.
I mean, it's a combination thing. The food we eat, the air we breathe, all these vapors and this and that. You don't know.
Right. So you think
and when people put all these units going in a place and killing up 20 people, and y'all wondering why y'all got these drugs on the street, and how can you explain? How can you rightfully justify allowing everybody on the street to have a gun that can carry one?
Right.
I mean, you putting us back in the Wild Wild West.
Right.
It's already capital murders down, leading. And you kindly putting guns in these youngsters' hands or anybody's hands. I mean, what message are you sending?
What message would you give to the youngsters that's coming up and think the criminal lifestyle is cool? They think being a gangster is cool. They think killing people is cool. I don't know. They just don't value their life, and they don't value other people's lives.
They're not aware of the consequences. If they had any idea where they would be heading at, they wouldn't dare pick up a gun or do anything in a violation because you're going in an area where you have no say so. You know, I have been voiceless for 42 years. Everybody, they told me when to get up, when to go to sleep, when to do this and that. You know how I feel to just be able to make your own decisions. I
Right.
hear. I mean, that's it don't seem like much, but it's a big factor.
But in their head, they think it's cool. They think jail is cool or prison is
But
cool.
like I mentioned that, you know, that you got to surround yourself with the people of your caliber, you know.
Mhm.
You know, and then I blame myself. That's where I was really about to get at, because I wasn't out there. You know, I used to feel, I used to be mad with youngsters and stuff and putting off all these crimes. But then I started thinking, I said, man, these little cats really don't know any better. They just going by what they've been shown on the street. They have no real father figures that they could pattern themselves by, you know. And I advised them at school last week. I said, man, find a mentor that you have utmost respect for, bro, and follow their leads. You know, I mean, some things you're gonna be your own man, but you can obtain knowledge from anybody. I used to talk to people that was on PU wars and stuff, and that they have a good conversation. And when I leave, or however they relate to others, they
PU
act up.
was. What is PU was?
That's like creative people,
Okay.
you know. Yeah, psycho, you know, people that's on hallucinative, on drugs and stuff. They have to use stuff to sedate them, you know, that's hyperactive, you know, different reasons. They really were doing it that's messing their mind up. Some dudes try to use that to beat their cases and stuff like that, but in the long run, that shatter your brain, you know. So it leaves me in an awkward situation. But they do use that up that you've been incarcerated, you know.
Right.
So
Have you ever sold drugs?
yeah, I done it in prison. It wasn't the fact that I wanted to do it, but I'm a survivor. I'm in complete survival mode. So whatever I could accumulate to make money, I got little packages in prison and flipped them over and bought hovercraft with it. And when I generated a legitimate hovercraft business, you know, but you know, I wasn't doing it out of trying to get wealthy or rich in prison, and I don't do it out here. Period. I'm finished with, you know.
Right. You ever took it? You ever
I
took
smoke
drugs?
weed. I ain't never tampered with drugs too
Hard
much.
drugs?
No, I never did. I never had, you know, I barely even know. I know rocks is a little white rock. You know, I ain't never even touched this stuff. You know, coke and all that. You know.
All right, but you sold drugs on the street before?
No, I never
Never
sold
sold
it on the
drugs on
street.
the
That was
street.
in penitentiary, just trying to make money to survive in there. You know.
All right. I always ask this when I interview drug dealers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel sorry for selling drugs to a person knowing that you're messing up their lives? Well, you're helping them mess up their lives, and not only that, but you helping destroy families.
Mm-hmm. See, I've spoken to a lot of people that have. I've been surrounded by people doing that all my life, so I really pretty much can answer that. That, you know, their reason would be that, you know, they gonna buy it from somebody anyway. You know, and then most of them they don't have the pride and standards to realize the destruction that's being done. You know, they're just looking at the accumulation of funds for themselves. You know, that society is real selfish out here now. And I see that. You know, people are not concerned about each other as they were when I left. You know, and I find that kind of awkward. You know, because people look at me when I hold the door open for a woman or do the little things that, you know, I was raised up doing. You know, trying to be a gentleman here and there and showing respect all the way around, you know. Mm-hmm. And the world just they look at a lot of crazy stuff as normal. They look at the abnormal stuff today in time as normal.
Normal, right?
You know, and
right.
it's, I be saying, man, how, you know.
You know what? I learned that that's the criminal mindset, and what normal society, what normal people see in society that's normal, the criminal mind don't see that as normal.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
It's kind.
It sounds awful.
It's kind
you
of.
have to think of it, but that's the way it is.
Same thing with the jail setting or prison setting. In jail, there's a lot of abnormalcy in jail. And that's why you get a lot of people who don't mind going back and forth to jail because they can't function in society.
With the responsibilities of.
Yeah, they only can function in that world.
Yeah.
Which is abnormal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when therapy and counseling and everything else, and that's when the childhood and all that comes into
effect.
Right, right.
And I mean, your childhood weigh in on you for both good and bad, but I can't actually see myself going through a destructive childhood and using that as an excuse as I grow old and be an adult. I can see some things, still probably negative, but if you set your standards and your pride and stuff at a level, what happened yesterday is done, So you can't.
But your childhood shapes and molds
you
it does. Going to become as an adult.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know of kids being and coming out in with ghetto-stricken areas and grow up to be attorneys and doctors and stuff. So
that's
I mean,
true.
If they got people that they're being raised up in these millionaire neighborhoods, that's
wind up being on
the
drugs.
opposite.
Right.
So these things, it's just it's a touch and go, and the world is evolving so fast, but it's kind of hard to really advise people of what you should and shouldn't do. Like I was telling the little cats at the table, I said, man, I really can't tell you anything what the do's and don'ts because they done changed so much from my childhood to y'all. Everything done evolved to a point where, the thing that looked good to me back then don't look good to y'all. Y'all don't even, and I one thing I surely advised them, I said, man, y'all keeping y'all heads in these electronics too much.
Right.
Hold your head up where you can see the world.
Right.
You see the world through a screen. Right. I mean, you miss so much like that.
So how long you been home now?
17 months.
17 months. So that must have tripped your head out when you see everybody head down in these cell phones. Because when you left, it was like
a beeper. They had a beeper. Yeah, you had to hit the thing. Oh, I got to go to the phone and call somebody.
Right.
So this foreign to me.
Right.
Somebody, and you can't have phones in the prison.
Right.
So I'm illiterate.
Right.
I just done learned a little stuff since I got out here.
They still get them in there somehow.
Yeah, they still security. Them people you pay a phone like they probably pay $800.
Damn.
To get it in, they $40, $20 phone. You get it in there, you probably get $400 for it.
So you never mess around with the phone thing?
No, I was in a situation where when the phones got kind of prevalent, I had done over 30-something years then. So I'm trying to be cool to get on the pardon board, and that's a long shot too.
Right.
So I wasn't messing with any contraband and stuff. I got back and said, man, I was expecting these attorneys to take my case. I was focused on the pardon board after doing maybe 40 years. I said, man, they might give me a shot and get the time cut to 99 years and I'll be eligible for immediate parole. So I was just trying to get that life sentence off my back, And then this issue came with the case, so that was better. It left me without restrictions or anything, so I'm able to leave the state and stuff, I even voted. For the first time this year.
Oh, okay.
First time I ever voted.
Who you voted for, Trump?
No, man. My vote didn't even matter, bro. That's what I feel bad about. I didn't even matter. Oh, but I didn't vote for Trump. But in my opinion, I think things will be more spotlighted with him in. He ain't gonna be able to. I mean, he's a clown, no doubt. But he's gonna keep the spotlight on his ass where he can't just do anything. Miss Harris, she a black woman, and I wanted her to, just for sake of being a black man, But I wonder how that would have fared out. She's qualified, in my opinion, in every area. But DP, they not ready for a black female to run no country. These white folks, they'll jump over the cherry moon before they allow that.
This is a man's world. Always have been a man's world since the beginning of times. Before presidents, it was kings. Back in the Bible days, the kings was nothing but presidents back then. We call them presidents now, but they call them kings back then. So it's been a man's world
from the beginning.
So I don't see that wasn't about to happen. That's why I come. Trump got in trouble. He got found guilty. He had this riot thing that happened, and he still won. Nobody wasn't going to let a woman lead this country. They wasn't.
This country been built on corruption and stuff. And
it's a man's world. It's nothing without a woman. like James Brown. But it's a man's world, man. So. Have you ever been shot before?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, tell me this. Think hard on this question. When you leave this earth, when you die, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered as a person that was always trying to spread inspiration, constructive thoughts and atmosphere. You know, I firmly believe that you last as long as your spirit do. Once you die, you know how people thought of you. You don't keep your name tossed up in there. And I got to say, I must have left a good impression because the people that knew me when I left, man, they embraced me in ways, that said, man, I don't really look for any rewards or trophies for things I do. I would tell them, man, I wouldn't come up here to speak to y'all because I'm trying to get paid. I do that because that's my nature,
Right.
I want to see y'all do good, I want my spirit left. So when you do leave, you can say, man, Mr. Kenneth, man, he got a good spirit, Mr. Kenneth showed me something that made a difference in my life, and that's all,
What's your biggest regret?
Ooh. Biggest regret. I ain't never really thought that one out. Ain't nobody never asked me that one.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good one. I have to think on that for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you happy or satisfied where you are in life right now?
Yes and no. I'm glad to be around so I can spread the knowledge and joy that I have. I try to. I'm glad to be around so that I could show people that don't look at the destructive side. Everything that happened bad has a good side to it. Just flip it over, And I look at it like the car, primary car. And when initially I was kind of worried that. I started thinking, man, what am I worried about a car for? A car gonna go run and stop when they want to. If it didn't stop, God must want it to stop. But they want me to go where I'm headed.
Right.
So, I look at things in these ways, so it kind of relieve a lot of my pressures, So.
Have you figured out what this thing called life is all about yet?
No, I still feel like I'm on a surfboard. I can't really establish a foundation after all these years. It leaves me with instability. I can't say have anything to look forward to, but I had put my attention on my daughters and stuff. I was going to come out here and try to accumulate what I can before I die and give to them. But they really left me no way of doing that because they don't want a relationship, so it leaves me with nothing to really delete for. I don't have a lady, or little things. I don't have a house. I don't, so like I say, I'm trying to get rooted somewhere,
Right. You say your kids don't want a relationship?
Huh?
You said who don't want a relationship?
My kids.
They don't want a relationship.
One of them don't. I told you the one of them, the oldest one, we never had a relationship. And the youngest one, she does something that she scammed me. My own daughter, when I got out, I might as well tell it. I had a lump sum of food stamps. You know, they accumulated. They started giving me food stamps. So they had kind of back paid me, giving me over $1,000 worth of food stamps. So when I came to New Orleans from the parole project, I had an abundance of food stamps. So I said, man, I ain't gonna need all this. I can get my daughter just to let her know that when I do get straight, this gonna be good. You know, as a suggestive type situation. So when I went over there, across the river, I told her to take $200. You know, I thought I was going to shop, but she done it on the phone. So once she done that, when I got the next thing, food stamps, she asked for something. And I told her I had already made a transaction with it, try to get stuff for the car and all, you know, blah, blah. But she went on and she just took the money, took the whole, everything out of my account.
The whole
she kept
worth of food stamp?
No, that was the first one that I had. They were giving me about $300 a month at that time. But I went there, I had $5 in my account. I said, man, and I know I know I don't know technology, but I said, man, because I didn't know. Cause I called, I said, Brandy, I said, man, my money missing out that thing. She said, oh, damn, done that. I said, Brandy, I told you I didn't have it. You just took. Oh, I'm gonna give it back. Man, you know, that messed my brain. I said, man, how could you do that? She really did put me in an awkward situation because I had made a deal, you know, to change that out for cash for, you know, for maintenance the car.
Right.
You know, so
it's kind of messed up that she did that because she know you just coming home. Yeah, you really need that.
Yeah. No, not like you know, I really wasn't in position to even do that. You know, I just suggested, let her know that, baby, I'm gonna get my feet on them and what I got, I'm gonna show you, y'all can have it. Right. But I'm gonna do with it, you know.
Right. But then since you've been gone, you can look at it like this: since you've been gone, and you wasn't there for a while, even though she did do wrong, you can go and have that. Because I at least owe you that. Oh yeah. She worked. You know, like I told my son last night. I said I told him we were way before this last night. Though, but I said whenever she come back, I'm like nothing ever happened. And it really happened. Right. She gonna be my daughter no matter what she do. Right. You know, and I'm gonna forgive her. You know, I got to. You know. Right. So I mean, I'm just letting her solve it in her mind. You know, when we come back, I'm gonna embrace you and love you like I've been loving you. We gonna start it from there. You know. So the one that don't. What's the one name that don't want a relationship?
Kentrell, that's the second one.
You think the reason why she don't want a relationship is because she's basically been hurt all this time without you being there?
I can't see that being the reason. You know, I mean, yeah, that probably is the reason. But I'm saying from my angle,
because she had to figure out life without you, and you should have been there. You know, she had to figure out men without you, this without you, that. And that could be a part of why she's.
See, I'm sure that's probably the major part of it, you know. And her mama really didn't try to explain exactly what happened. And even with doing so, it's still in her mind her daddy wasn't there. I be seeing these on these talk shows. Her daddy wasn't there. So for some reason, when daddy not there, they take offense, you know, they don't, and then the girls go through stuff they really never reveal. My daughter might have been raped or, you know, all kind of stuff during the course because my mama raised her and she was around all the old drunken men. And I mean, you know, life is life. You know what things that occur, you know, and they gonna hold that in and you don't know how they scarred her, you know.
You wasn't there to protect
man,
me.
My daddy was here, that wouldn't have happened. You know, and it's true, you know. So, you know, all kind of.
That could play a big part of
you know, so I look at it from other angles as well, you know, and like I say, whenever she decided to come back, in time, I ain't gonna let it go that far. I'm about to crack and call her, say, come on, baby, let's go from here, you know. Right. We don't need me to talk about yesterday.
Right. You know? Just keep trying, you know. You know, she'll come around one day, you know, just gotta keep trying. Give her space and keep trying.
Yeah, she done been through stuff. You know, like I said, mama committed suicide. I ain't never told her that. Oh. Yeah. In fact, the day that she done it, she brought my daughter to my mama, and her and the dude, they on a straight away. I don't know if you know, familiar with Night War back there on France. A straight highway. I don't, you know, and just run straight to a pole, you know.
Damn.
Kill her and the dude.
You ever apologize from leaving her?
Huh?
Did you ever apologize from leaving her? Like, I shouldn't have left y'all out here in this world like
Who, my
that.
daughter?
Yeah.
I know I really have. I only met her physically twice since I've been out. And both of those times I went over there and I didn't really know how, I don't know the city that good. And I took a chance in going over there, and I was bringing her stuff. Then I brought her some furniture that that was donated to me. Little things like that. All kind of foods and canned goods and stuff that had been donated to me. And what I'm saying, that she could use. That was good stuff. So I was showing her that gonna be later.
Right.
But I never actually sat her down. And we got. In fact, every time we met, I had somebody there with me because they escorted me over there. So I didn't know the way. So we really didn't have and she asked me a question when I first got out, when I was getting ready to leave. That was the first time. I said, Dad, you ain't never told me what happened. I said, I'm gonna come back over here, I'm gonna tell you. And she ain't never really tried to, I'm thinking if she actually really wanted to know, she would have made provision to come over. She used that bridge up or something, say a car sputter when they come over the bridge, but and that's another thing I seen. I went over there the second time. Some of the dude got her car. Yeah. And he riding around in her car. And I asked her, I said, you going to get the stuff? Something dealing with her car. She said, my boyfriend got it. I didn't say anything about it. I'm saying, if your boyfriend got your car, I'm sure he's driving across the bridge or making it over there for him. So you let me know you supporting some dude. She got one daughter looked like a model. Right. And she ain't even try to really connect us in a relationship. That's your granddad. She coming up so pretty, hugged up and trying to make small talk with her. She said talk, but you could see she got so tired. She just slid on back in the room. So I really don't know her.
How many grandkids you have?
Grandkids? Mm-hmm. Ooh, I got Kendall got 4. Brandon got 2, 6 grandkids. I got about 6 great grandkids.
Oh, all right.
Kendall, the one in Texas, my son, his oldest daughter was stay in trouble. She got 3 boys. The one next to her got 2. Yeah, so I got 5 great grandkids. Damn. So.
What's the most important lessons you learned in life?
I think the most important thing in life to me, and I used to advocate this, is to be able to control your emotions. I think that being able to control your emotions, whether it's grief, whether it's joy, whether it's disappointment, if you can control that and stay stable and make good, sound decisions after that, I think that's key components to your survival. Because most people, after you get some tragic news or something bad happen, their reaction's gonna determine how things gonna go. If you can kind of compose yourself and think things out from every angle, that you could, be more worthy of handling it. Whatever it may be.
If you can live your life over, what would you do differently?
I probably wouldn't do anything, because the knowledge and the things that I've seen in my life, I wouldn't want anybody else to go through it. But man, I wouldn't change it for the world.
You wouldn't?
No. And I got a joy in me that God and gave me, brother, showed me that. I guess it took all these type of things to really make me believe that really was a God. I was playing Christian and stuff here and there all through those years, but until I just said, man, until I said, man, God, I ain't been no bad person. I know I can't die, brother, So show me some kind of sign that you exist. And lo and behold, when the attorneys hired to do my case, man, it just like every opposition just folded. Then no opposition from nobody,
So you wouldn't do anything different, like either from that night when you got in trouble, you wouldn't do nothing?
That just happened. I had no real, nothing with that, so. it really was nothing I could have done. But what you know, I mean, I could have stayed home. Yeah, yeah, I could, that's the answer. There.
Right.
Yeah, I should have been out there.
Right, right,
So
right.
yeah, so yeah, you got to, you know, certain situations. That's why I like some of these little events and celebrations, and I like to attend because I miss so much. But man, it's so dangerous out there when they have all these activities. Man, I peep out for a little while and
Come back in.
yeah, man,
Right.
I
Right. Like what happened at the second line.
say, man, would you believe I had just passed the scene coming over that Almanassa Bridge? Because the police were about, they were putting out the block the roads off, the street off. I just passed, so man, so much that happened. No, what I really thought they were blocking off because they had a big parade. Everything. I had to maneuver through traffic. I didn't know it was that thick, you know. And when I got the end of the scene, I started seeing on the news. I said, man, I just passed that little area, you know. So I said, man, not a good little cat, man. I feel so sorry for his mother.
Yeah,
man, and you got to.
He was like 19 years old. It was like, that's it. Nah, that's it. They gonna sit him down for a while.
This a bad time, but it's a bad time to get caught up in the system with Jeff Landry and all that. Man, them people Klansmen, bro. They waiting to hang.
Right.
You know, in my situation, they waiting for me to make mistakes so they can use against the other guy that's trying to get out.
Right.
You know, so I have those type of pressures on me. It's not really a pressure, but it let me know that I got to be an example. You know, so I got to walk in accordance to, you know, everything going in regards to what, you know, it's for a bigger cause, you know.
On the news, they said that even before the second line, there was some type of feud that was going on between him and whoever he killed. But these youngsters these days needs to learn these two words called conflict resolution. They need to learn how to settle a conflict without violence.
Yeah.
It don't always have to go there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you weak.
Yeah.
It don't make you a hoe.
Yeah.
It don't make you, you know,
in actuality, it forces you to be a stronger man. I learned this in prison to get away from that.
Right.
You know, if you just act physically out of every situation, man, you ain't gonna last long.
Right.
You know, you got to be a thinker out here now. You know,
they think that makes them look soft.
These dudes doing all this things on Canal Street.
Yeah.
I mean, last few shootings been right on Canal Street, man.
Right.
You gonna go out there with a assault rifle and stuff, or you going out there too? Get in trouble.
I don't know I would like to talk to them because I don't know what's going on, like what's in their brains, like how they.
Man,
But it goes back to what we were saying earlier about the normal thing.
Yeah.
They don't look the way that normal people look at the world. They don't see the world like that.
Yeah.
They have an abnormal way of thinking.
Yeah.
You know, which is not normal.
Yeah, which is not. Yeah.
You know, and that's why you see them do the things they do.
Yeah. And then they still like I advocated, man, they really don't understand and know the consequences. Man, you know, life being thrown away, you know.
I think they understand, they don't care. You know, these
man,
days.
When I was up there with them, they crying.
Oh, they crying?
Oh, yeah, they crying.
So they don't understand.
Once they get in that awkward situation, they crying.
So they don't understand.
So they done messed over everybody. A lot of them, the cats going up there, man, they done messed over their mothers and their parents, so they not supporting them.
Right, so they take their hands off once they go to prison. They take their hands, so they up there by themselves.
Yeah. The girlfriend that they done just slanging drugs and stuff for, left them, gone to another drug dealer.
Right.
You know?
Right, so they don't have nobody when they up there. So that's when they feel it when they up there. Right, so they play big and bad on the streets, but once they hit the prison,
it's a whole different environment. You know, for the ones that's living like that, you know, some of them, prison isn't all bad. You know, for people that's criminal minded, and if they really want to be rehabilitated and know and recognize and see the do's and don'ts of life, you know, they could come out of there, and I see a lot of them coming out with good attitudes and stuff, you know, and they being able to relay their experience on younger people, you know. So they got a whole crew of them advocating, you know, ways to survive out here, you know, or, you know, to set some type of standards, you know.
Right.
And I would tell them, I said, man, I say the generations that's already established, you know, I say it's going to be kind of hard to redirect their their walks. I said, I heard Cleo Field, the representative, years ago say the way to redirect our path is to educate the young generations. You gotta have to start it from the ground up. But these people that's the mind demented and created it out, it's already headed in a direction, and it'll cost 2 lifetimes for you to try to redirect it. Just start from growth. Just replant our.
That's why I said it comes from the childhood.
Yeah.
You know, because your childhood really shapes and molds who you become most of the time.
No, yeah.
Not all the time. You gave an example where it's not all the time, but most of the time it does. And once you get to a certain age, you are who you are, and there's nothing nobody can do to change it.
Right.
Only person can change that is you and God.
Yeah.
And if you had this not so good upbringing, then that's how come you're gonna see. You're right. That's why we see what we see. What you were saying, the guys coming on Canal, and I'm not a betting person, but I'm willing to bet they didn't have the best of upbringing.
Yeah, I'm almost certain when you for that act right there gonna make it conclude that.
Right.
You know.
So when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
I see a face that I kind of like because of the respect and the kind of admiration that's been given, inspiration that although I try to spread goodness, but I got mentors myself that I look up to and look for advice. I'm a struggling person as well spiritually. So I'm open for education. Open for love, I put emphasis on. I said people use love so loosely these days. It doesn't even the definition. Now that's one song Witness sang that I'm in total love yourself.
Right.
Learn how to love yourself, and then only then can you fully love.
Right. What is the thing that you wish people understood most about you?
That I've been a caring, considerate, understanding person most of my life, and I'm saying that, but the feedback I'm getting shows me that, so that's what I would want people to know about me,
If you can go back into a time machine and go back and talk to that person that went out there and got caught up in that crime that you got caught up in, what would you tell that person?
I would tell that person he need to find Christ in his life, and I don't know what actually transpired to cause this, but that's what's need to be done. You need to go in your spiritual self and just to pull out all the wickedness and evilness, so even though you didn't get caught up then, and if it still exists, I'm almost certain doing these type of things you no longer exist. But if so, you need to do some real spiritual soul searching,
Right. When you're alone, what do you think about? What goes?
Oh, I get anxiety a lot of times. Being incarcerated a long time, being alone is kind of fearful. And through all those years of being in areas crowded with men, now all of a sudden you alone. You could move when you want. You could turn on and off TV and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of things I think about when I'm alone. I really try to recant my steps in previous. That was one of a thing I used to always do, and I really haven't done it since I'm bringing it up. After 2 or 3 months, I'll recant my steps. I'll look back at my life, see have I ventured too far right or too far left, and and just kind of keep me in a straight path, So this kind of stuff I think was essential, and I was Man, I try to teach myself, and you can't teach yourself how to forget things. You have to learn how to forget things quick in these places because you always expect the unexpected.
Right.
You know, every day something new gonna happen that you really can't account for, that you have to kind of digest and walk through. You know, so many people were dying in my life, and so many tragedies here and there. You know, I just had to try to rake these things in the back of my mind. You know, so that I wouldn't grieve too long. You know, so that kind of that did help, I think. You know, but now that some of these memories I suppress begin to surface, so it's good in a way and it's bad in a way. Cause like I was telling people, I like to relay some of these incidents, but it really caused me to kind of what they call when you dig a grave up, when you dig graves up, assume,
assume.
huh?
Talking about when they assume the body?
You digging up a grave, exhume. Huh?
Exhume,
So, some of the memories be real dark,
Right.
I had partners, bro, that I love like brothers, bro. They just couldn't handle it no more. Commit suicide and,
So you saw a lot of suicides.
Oh, yeah, I have.
Heard you mention that like
I
3 or 4
done had,
times.
man. Right before I left, bro, I had a little partner. I was working the cell blocks as an all feeding dudes and cleaning up and this and that. Man, I used to have a relationship with a little dude named Tony Jackson, called in Miami. He was extended lockdown. That was it's like CCR. That's high risk people that escaped and this that. So they wanted people over there. They kind of trusted. You couldn't be no wimp over there because them dudes throw shit on you and everything. So. He laid there. When I got locked up and I got brought back, slumped back down the main prison. Man, the little dude, I was sending him cigarettes from the main prison so he could hustle with on the till. Man, I sent the last one I sent, and I hadn't heard from him. I wrote him a letter, and I didn't hear from him. And when the dude that brought the cigarettes came back down there to call a football game with me, he said, say house? They call me warehouse up there. Everybody got a nickname.
Nickname?
Yeah, warehouse.
Jailhouse name?
Yep.
Warehouse.
Whenever you hear warehouse, they can say, oh man, that football player? I was knocking them out on the football field. I went up there with a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So I'm coming from St. All, and they think you a gay school, an all boys school, you must be gay or something. So I already had a chip on my shoulder, So when I went on the football field, I was scratching them out, So. But, the dudes, damn, I forgot where I was headed with that conversation. But
tell me this, why you thinking about that? You was locked up for 42 years, around a bunch of men. Once you first got home and you saw these beautiful women, how was your reaction?
Ooh, I just was looking. I really didn't know how, and I still really don't. I be seeing them half naked. I said, ooh.
Yeah, because they were.
Because prison kind of showed, they got female security officers.
Oh, right.
And it's forbidden to mess with them. Right. So it make you reluctant about messing with, because you just speak to some of them women. I don't speak to me. Some of them be all, so you be trying to be nice. They do really be messing with them bad. Them dudes will flash on them and everything.
Right,
so they within their right to keep them at bay. But man, it's kind of hard. Even now, even when I confront a lady, I said, man, you make it kind of reluctant. After I get to know them and stuff, I just run certain things down to them. That it make it kind of shy. You don't know when you then cross the boundaries and rape and all that stuff. Now they say, no, you better stop.
Right.
I said, you'll get some kind of a sex charge or something.
You trying to go back up.
Yeah, so anything like that, and even out here, I done had a chance where, you ain't got no lady, you're going to find a woman that you're going to get with.
Right.
But you got to be careful about that, because living the street walk, man, I'm not running out there messing with them people. They got all kind of venereal diseases and stuff,
Right.
And if I need to use a condom, I don't need to even be, I'm already afraid that something wrong, so I ain't going to be messing with you. So that has hindered me from really establishing a relationship. That and my not having a job where, I can't really approach the women that I really would like. I don't want no little girl or no freak. I want me a lady, a woman.
You're a lady, right? You trying to settle down.
Yeah.
Right. You at that age where
I
you
ain't got time to be jumping from
around.
relationship to relationship,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is the thing you wish people understood most about you?
That I'm a caring, loving, understanding person that, and in most cases you could come to me with a conversation and if I can assist you, and not just conversation, if I can assist you with some type of work assignments or something, I'll be more than willing, provided that we got that type of relationship. I'm not gonna be no guinea pig.
Do you get lonely or depressed?
Oh yeah, yeah. Some days everything go good and all of a sudden a dark cloud just come over. And so certain things start surfacing that you try to suppress. I be in there like the other day I was brushing my teeth. I just started thinking about my partner one of my best friends just died up there about a month ago.
Damn.
Yeah, and that was my right hand there, and these type of things. 'Cause I was going all out trying to help him get out. His situation was way better than mine, but he, you give people advice, but they have to do it. And I used to advise him to sign petitions and applications and this and that for whatever. They can't do anything but deny it. Yeah. And I advise all them. I said, man, when they come with them new statutes and stuff, man, get on that, put your name on that, like as though it affects you. You don't know what that might do. Oh man, that don't affect my situation. Right. Man, you better get with them. And I'm in a situation with the Loyola, with Loyola. I got a dude. He helped me. I've been the one I gave.
So I'm not really understanding. So you got out on an appeal?
No, I got out on a reversal. Yeah. Okay, this way what it was: ineffective assistance of counsel. That was the heading of the argument. Okay. My lawyer didn't properly. That man the motions. He didn't file the motions. He didn't try to create any type of defense. He didn't do anything. And once they open it up on that, that's when they start seeing all the other stuff. It's no. Man, come on, man. Man, y'all got that man been on. Y'all ain't even try to make a plea bargain agreement. Well, that's the only time that lawyer did come. Said, man, Mr. McGee, would you all accept 40 years? Said 40 years. I said, no. And I didn't really get a chance to talk. My dad, I don't know where he come from. In fact, I don't know anybody else in prison that had him. And that's another thing all those years. I said, man, all these years I've been here, I ain't never heard of anybody having this attorney. Damn. I said, man, so I said, man, that man might have been bootlegging. So I still really don't know. I really, after I got out, I might,
When the last time you ever had a good cry?
A good cry?
Yeah.
I'm scared to cry, bro.
Why you scared to cry?
Say, bro, I got so many tears built up, I probably wouldn't know how to stop.
Damn.
Believe that. I often say that, bro. They tell you a man ain't supposed to cry, and I stood on that, bro, and I've had a little brief tear, but say, brother, to have an outright boo-hoo,
yeah, man,
I'm scared. If it's stole, bro, I might deflate. Damn. Yeah, I'm serious about that, bro. Like, sometimes I be talking to people, and the cloud will come over, and I be saying, man, hope this ain't the breaking point, because when they do start crying, I might have to build a dam. You
need to let that out, man.
I do. I really do, bro. But I have no.
It's gonna feel good, though.
I haven't really established a relationship with a female. I think that's a key component. But I don't know. I need the side piece. Not that for sure. I need some support. Spiritually. That'll kind of settle me down, where I could kind of pick my way, I just stand, I'm reaching some dude come, like the work situation. A dude comes, say, man, I got a little job for us to do, you can make you a little money, I run for that, Then I'm supposed to be trying to get a job over here, and I'm neglecting that, trying to make a few dollars, survive for today, So things like that, bro, it's kind of hard,
Right.
And being an independent person, people help me, and I embrace the assistance, but I'm not that kind of person, and I'd be looking at it, say, man, all my partners from St. Aug, we played ball together. I went to their house in Slidell a couple weeks, and these dudes retiring. They in the position that I was supposed to be in at this stage in my life, where I could have things kind of set up where I could assist. I can pick my people that I see struggling. That's what I did today. But that's another thing I would say, man. I get out there and try to get me a little money under my belt, catch me one of these ambitious college students that got good ideas and invest in them and support them financially and let them go. You know, I be trying to, do things that make difference, But,
A lot of guys go back and forth to jail. Do you think the street life is addictive?
no, that's a choice. It's not addictive. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think
Nah,
it's
you don't have to
addictive?
hang out. I mean, I've got, kids hang out like that. I mean, it got phases of that. I think you go through a phase of your life where that's attractive, and then after you see the do's and don'ts and inners out of it, you get just pass through it and, move on to a more mature area. It's
Right.
supposed to.
Right.
You know,
What's your purpose?
my purpose is to help or be a part of most people, as many people out as I can, constructively. Try to be a force that they can say back, man, old Kenneth was talking, man, he said something that really affected me that, I see. So that's what I want to have a person thinking, when my name ever surfaces.
Who are you?
I'm a positive force. I'm a positive energy.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the worst advice someone ever given you?
Uh, I probably would have to say that, a house, go out there and get yours. Go get it. Like some dudes say, I'm going to get mine.
Right.
By any means, that's what they written me,
Right.
So I think that would be the very worst advice I could ever be given. So I shunned that as soon as it was said.
What's the best advice you ever was given?
The best advice I give when I say, man, keep your head up, stay spiritually uplifted, and treat everybody as you would like them treat you. And I think that's a key component to things too. Don't do people what you don't want done to you. I mean, everybody's standards are different, but some things I know a person with dislike, I ain't gonna confront them with that.
Right.
So.
What does failure means to you?
Failure, submission. I think when you submit to a challenge, that's considered failure. Or I like I told like where I used to show dudes, I said, man, it don't matter if you come to prison looking like a girl. If you fight, and fight, you gon' you don't make it. Just don't surrender. You could get beat up. As long as you fight every time a person comes, you always have somebody, a mentor or something. But I've done it many times. Man, little dude, man, but leave him alone.
Right.
And when I step in, by my having already established, my reputation, they go, hey, let him go, bro. House seat, this or that, a house in it, so they gonna just that alone, but, long as you fight for yourself, get punching eye every day. Make a punching eye every day. You're gonna have to do that. You ain't gonna get what you select, whatever the situation may be, so.
What does success mean to you?
Success means, success to me is being spiritually balanced. I don't look at success in monetary or dollars and cents. A luxurious type thing. Materials. That's not success. I mean, it is that if you living in this world and you need things, you want the best of things, and I do too. Everybody do, but don't let that, determine your personality.
Right. Kingdom principles or street principles? Which one?
Kingdom principle or street principle?
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to.
Which one would you choose?
Oh, kingdom principles.
principle.
Yeah.
Kingdom principles.
Yeah.
Okay. You rather be happy or right?
I'd rather be right.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I done cut a lot of friendships off for man. You know. Like that. You know, being right or happy. You know. And it's.
All right. I got my last question for you. It's a fun question. It's a New Orleans question.
Okay.
Cash money or no limit?
I'm not really familiar with them during the time of you mean the groups?
Yeah.
I'm not really. I mean, I don't. I have to say no limit.
No limit?
Yeah, I had a partner up there. We was cold blood. You wore the tank shirts and everything, bro. Old time I used to like call it Badita. Well, Badita was a mess. Yeah, you had a tank. Old man, he ain't know nothing about no limit and all that. I didn't either, but we used to listen to the rap, them youngsters listen to it, so, you pretty much forced to listen to it, so.
Right.
Yeah, no limit. And you?
Boat.
Boat? Okay.
Now, if I
they
had,
both entangled, huh? I mean, they kind of.
No. One was from the Calio projects. One was from the Malfamine.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sorry. One was from the Magnolia projects.
Okay.
And two different CEOs.
Okay, I didn't even know that. I thought they was all, one and the same. That kind of branched off.
Yeah. Always in my, I heard you say it, that you mentioned God a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like to end my interviews with a prayer, called a sinner's prayer. And the reason why I do it is not to bring anybody over to my religion or my spirituality, because people always get into my comment sections and want to know why I do that. I'll only do this is just to give people a little something that helped me throughout life.
Okay.
And maybe it would help them.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's not to convert anyone,
right.
To my religion.
Right.
It's just to give them just a little nugget. And if you can do with it what you want with it.
Right.
It's like if I give you $5.
Yeah,
you can do with it what you want with it. You can throw it away.
Yeah.
Or you can go spend it in, you know what I'm saying? So this is why I do this.
Okay.
And I had to explain this to the people, because people always get in the comments thinking I'm trying to convert somebody to my religion. It's not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So, are you ready?
Talk to me.
All right. Repeat after me.
Okay.
Say, Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus.
I believe that you are the Son of God.
I believe that you're the Son of God.
You went to the cross.
You went to the cross.
You died.
And you died.
And you rose again.
And you rose again.
For my salvation.
For my salvation.
Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus.
I repent.
I repent.
Forgive me.
Forgive me.
I love you.
I love you.
I turn from my old ways.
I turn from my old ways.
I don't want to live life my way.
I don't want to live life my way.
I want to live life your way.
I want to live life your way.
I'm asking you now, Lord.
I'm asking you now, Lord.
Come into my heart.
Come into my heart.
I sinned.
I sin.
Forgive me.
Forgive me.
Wash me.
Wash me.
Cleanse me.
Cleanse me.
Guide me.
Guide me.
Help me.
Help me.
Please.
Please.
Save me.
Save me.
And make me ready.
And make me ready.
For your return.
For your return.
Come in now, God.
Come in now, God.
Take over my life.
Take over my life.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
No judge song. We got another one. Real full sweet, Daddy. Boom.